Angle side angle is another triangle congruence postulate that we can use to justify that two triangles are congruent. So if you look at the actual postulate, it says if two angles and the included side, so similar to side angle side, we have angle A, and then immediately after that would be the included side, and then immediately after that would be the other angle for angle side angle. If we have two angles and the included side of one triangle congruent to two angles and the included side of a second triangle, then we know that both triangles are in fact congruent. So we can write our triangle congruence statement as triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF using angle side angle triangle congruence. The last triangle congruence postulate that we need to know to show that two triangles are congruent is called angle side. So if you look at what it says in the diagram, or if we have in the diagram is also in the description, it says if two angles and the non-included. So we would go angle and then we're skipping a whole side that's not marked congruent, and then immediately after that would be an angle. So two angles and the non-included side of a triangle are congruent to two angles and the corresponding non-included side of the second triangle. Then the two triangles are congruent. So we're looking specifically, we have an angle, and then we're skipping a side, we have another angle marked, and then immediately after that, we have our side that's marked congruent CB. Well, that's occurring in the same diagram, or I'm sorry, the same triangle, DEF, where we have angle D, skipping a side, angle F would be the consecutive angle that's in that triangle, and then immediately after that would be the non-included side, FE. So we can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF by angle side triangle congruence. That's enough information for us to declare that. All right, let's see if we can practice identifying if we can say that the two triangles are congruent with the information that's given. So just a heads up, there's going to be some information that isn't necessarily given to you, but implied based on our previous understanding of how angles and sides work depending on the information we're given. So let's look at letter A first. So we have two angles that are marked congruent and corresponding. And as we're looking at the diagram, I notice that we have two sides that are crossing, which means that we have vertical angles existent. So then we have this third angle congruent. So then we have angle. But the thing is, we don't have a triangle congruence postulate that we're using that includes angle. That's not good enough. That's not a real triangle congruence postulate. So I'm going to say no with an exclamation point just to make it a fact that angle is not a real congruence postulate. Okay, so these are our choices: side, angle, side. I'm sorry, side, side, angle, side, angle, side, and HL. So let's look at letter B. So we have an angle and one triangle matching with another angle in a second triangle. So those two angles are marked congruent. And then we have another angle marked in each triangle. So if I'm going around the circle here, like that, and then immediately after that, I'm noticing that they're sharing one side. So they're sharing one side, which means that's the reflexive property, because in the reflexive property, if it's the same exact side in both diagrams or both objects, then you can say that it's congruent to one another. Well, we have angle, side, angle, side. So we do, in fact, have enough information. Angle, side. Last but not least, we have a diagram here. So we're looking at both triangles. And we know that we can see that there's an angle marked here and an angle marked here. We have a side and a side here. So then right now we have angle side something. I'm noticing that we have two lines that are crossing as well, which means that we should have vertical angles existent in both parts. So it looks like we have angle, side, angle, side, angle. So yes, that's a winner chicken dinner right there. So hopefully that was helpful for you to identify some examples of triangles that are congruent or not congruent. And again, it'll take some practice on your part and working with your teacher to make sure that you're provided with enough examples to be able to recognize and explain why triangles are congruent or not.